Gomez. ¿Cómo estás, amigo?
Hey, Joaquín, I'm doing good, man. ¿Cómo estás tú?
Good, man. Well, thank you so much for making the time to come and chop it up with me. I want to have you on because I love your story. I know that you've been working really hard in real estate for the last, well, at least for the time I've known you, the last few months. But I know there's a story before the story, right? And
Right,
I, and
right,
I think
right.
it's really important to let people know how amazing some folks are doing in this business. And I think you're like one of those guys. So
Thank you, man.
let's start with that, man. How long you been doing real estate?
Well, I've been doing it as an agent. It will be 1 year this month, and that I got my license. But I started investing in real estate probably like 4 years ago. Yeah.
And before real estate, what were you doing?
Well, I used to have another business. I started my
Oh,
business when I was 20 years old, and I had that business for 12 years. So that was a screen printing and embroidery business. We had it
wow.
based in San Leandro, California.
And what would you do? Like, what do you
Well,
do?
it's
Big
screen
stuff,
printing,
small?
yes, designs, t-shirts design, embroidery on t-shirts, all different clothings. We were doing a lot of marketings like business card, banners, and all that stuff. All about printing. Yeah.
Nice. So then what made you say, you know what, I should probably transition into real estate? Like, when did that come
You know,
into
that's
play?
That's a good question, man. It was interesting. One time, I didn't have social media. I mean, Facebook, but I was actually scrolling on my daughter's Instagram one time, and there was an ad came up. It was like a real estate ad, right? About investing and flipping houses and all that stuff. And it kind of caught my attention, and I click on the ad, and it sent me a link to go to those free seminars, about real estate and all that stuff. So that's how I started real estate, man, going through that seminar, and it was actually going through Instagram, the ad. It was funny, yeah, because I didn't know about real. I mean, I did know about real estate, but I wasn't that attracted about real estate because I didn't know anything about it. I was focused on my business, and I was doing good over there. And it was funny how, from an ad, I decided to go through real estate, and I'm like full time on real estate right now.
Okay, so you saw this seminar, and was a seminar like investing what, like into flips,
It was more like on
multi-unit?
the flipping side and
Okay,
also like passive income. So
got it.
it's all about investing. Yes. So I
Okay,
got into the course. I pay a lot of money for that education, but I mean it was worth
it
it.
was
That's
worth
how I
it.
got into real estate. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I have a good friend of mine, and he says we're in an age now where social media allows you access to people who have done it. And yeah, sometimes you might have to pay for this kind of coaching and stuff, but it might be worth it. Like in your case, look, you went into, this ad probably thinking, hey, hoping for the best, right?
Yeah.
You find out some great information. You take some information, because I think action, one thing's to learn, another thing's to actually put it into action. You took that action, and then, so how was your first deal? So you got into fix and
Yeah, I,
flips?
I got into this course, right? Learning, and I'm that kind of person that I always want to do it like right away. Then I started studying, and
You're an action taker.
the first 3 months, man, I decided to do my flip. It didn't go that well, I probably made like $5,000 on the first flip, and but I was a big learning experience, and I had a lot of experience on that first flip. Then I got my second flip. Probably I made like $80,000 on the second one,
Wow.
and I didn't do anything on that flip. Actually, I bought the property, and I started the project, and another investor came by and bought the property for $80,000 more that I pay. So I made good money on that one. And I didn't touch the property. I mean, I started getting permits and everything, but the other investor was the one who finished the project.
He pretty
Yeah.
much took over.
Hmm.
So, okay, an $80,000 paycheck for some, I mean, someone like you, it's probably not a big deal, right? But someone like me, $80,000 is a lot. So, what was it like having that check come in for $80,000?
Well, it wasn't big money, for me, because I had my business and I was making money, and but I wasn't getting that paycheck, right?
Right.
Because on some businesses, it's a lot of, you get it, you make orders and you pay bills and all that stuff, right? So it's flowing, the money is flowing, but you never see like $80,000 in one paycheck, right?
Right.
That is just profit. So that's how I realized that real estate was one of the business I wanted to be, because I saw that paycheck, it was $80,000. So I'm like, you know what, this is what I want to be. Um, so that's why I decided to start learning about real estate, how it works, and all that stuff.
And then, okay, so then you're doing in flipping, right? Sorry, I'm changing the camera here, but you're doing flips. And
Yes.
then when did you realize I should get my license? Was it because you felt that the guy who was selling the house for you was just, or whoever was selling your house, you thought, man, I could probably do that? Or did you think a little bit more long term and said, you know what, maybe I should always or I should always have my real estate license because it is going to come in handy, regardless of what I do? Like, what was your train of thought on that?
So good question, man. I mean, after 2 years I was doing flips, I decided to get my license. But to be honest, I got so busy. 1 year I was doing 5 flips at the same time, and I got into that course to get my license to study, but I never got it, man, because I was so busy, and I never finished the course. So
Mm.
I started, I paid to learn. I never finished it.
Hmm.
So it was funny that on 2020, before COVID, I decided to move to Fresno area. I bought a house here from the Bay Area. Then I relocated to Fresno. Then COVID hit, right? So on 2020, we got COVID, and one of my flips that I had in Oakland, on the Oakland Hills, it ended up not going well, and I lost a lot of money, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I lost about 250K on that property. We went through some troubles with the contractors, lawyers, and I have to hold that property for a year. I was paying like mortgage $7,000 a month. Imagine 1 year paying just mortgage,
Right.
and having the project just there, not even moving. So I lost a lot of money on that property. Then I bought my house. I put some down payment. So I was doing so well in 2019 and 2020. I just lost everything,
Mm.
right? So I had no money at all because I lost the money, and I bought my house. Then we got COVID. So COVID came, right? And I got stuck in my house just doing nothing. And it was funny because my mindset wasn't that, you know, I wasn't feel that good at that time, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I went through a little depression because I was just sitting in my office doing nothing, and I was like, what can I do now? It's nothing that I can do. So that's when I decided, you know what, there's something I can do. I can get my license. I can take this time to learn and study and get my license. So I decided to get my license, and after, I think it took me like 2 months to get my license. Just studying, I got my real estate license, and I got into EXP. I started doing some deals, probably like 2 or 3 deals before I joined Team Fast, and the rest is story, man. I got back. I'm doing some flips, closing some deals with Team Fast. So yeah, it's been amazing how, real estate, you can lose money, but you can get back quick, right? So right now I'm closing my third flip this year, and I think on real estate I closed like 11
Wow.
transactions. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic, man, and yeah, we're definitely glad to have you on Team Fast. I know when you jumped on, I think you just hit the ground running, man. I think within the first, I would say probably within the first month, you already had a deal, right,
Yeah,
with Team
first month.
Fast.
Yeah, and the
Probably even
last six
first few
months.
weeks, I think, not even first month. Within the first week or so, I
Yeah.
saw you out there listed or just sold. I'm like, damn, this guy just got here.
Yes, yes. In the last 6 months, I was able to pay back some of my debt, have some cash, do some investments, and with my flips and also the transactions I'm doing as an agent, I was able to get back on track, man. And And that's why I love so much real estate, right? Because
Yeah.
that's why I told everybody, man, you got to get into real estate. It's completely different. You can definitely create wealth through real estate.
Embrace the power of real estate is what I
Yes,
say. There is power. You got to know how to do it, and maybe not everybody's, not everybody has the time to get into real estate. But that's when you have to consult with professionals, like yourself,
exactly.
right? That could show him how to invest, or how to what's the best way to invest, depending on their different scenario. I wanted to touch back too on that resilience, because we can't just skip over the fact that you lost a lot of money. We're talking what you said, almost 200 or over $200,000, and obviously that was a very difficult time. But that resilience, like, where did you get that resilience to, let me figure it out? Maybe all the doors were closed around you, but you said, I got to find one that could open. It happened to be getting your real estate license. But where did that resilience come from? Like, where? Because that's not, not everybody has that, right? Everybody's really quick to pull out the white flag,
Right.
help. But you're like, no, I'm gonna do it. Like, talk a little bit about that, man.
Well, man, good question. It was not easy. I'll tell you this. It was not easy. I always had that mindset that everything is here, right? But when I got into, because I never got into that situation. I always was doing good in my business. To be honest, I never worry about money, right? I will go to the store and have my daughters, my wife, we'll go to the restaurants and spend money. I never thought about how much I was spending because I was doing good in my business. But when I got into this situation, man, I was worried about $1, right? Spending
Mm,
$1. I was it was hard to get out of the hole, right? So it was not easy. But looking at my family, looking at my two daughters, my wife, sitting on the table and thinking about, what should I do? I promised my daughter the first year, like this Christmas, we're gonna do well. And and to be honest, the first year it didn't happen, man. I was
mm,
feeling so bad. Like, man, I was like, I promised them that we were going to be okay this Christmas. Um, so that was playing in my head all the time. Like, oh, man, how can I get out? So then I started pushing myself. It was more like a mindset thing. Pushing myself like on doing it, getting organized, and definitely Team Fast, man.
yeah.
All the coaching and everything definitely helped me to get out of it because when I was joining all the coaching calls like every morning because I had time. I had nothing to do, so I had like I gotta join this Team Fast coaching, and I was able to have that mindset again, of go get it, like do it, and that's how I did it, man. It's just like I was pushing for like 6 months and I didn't see the results. I was even like, man, I'm working, I don't see results. But after 6 months, man, just like that, it happens. I was like, oh man, one month I think I closed like four transactions, and I got my other flip, and I was moving. So I feel good, man. Not right now, it's completely different, but I mean, I understand some people that got into the hole and it's hard to get out,
Yeah.
out of it. So I understand. Before I didn't understand, so I was like, man, it's just put it on your mindset, do it. But it's not easy, man. I know it's difficult, and to be honest, what's more, my family, that my wife, my daughters, that pushed me to do it.
I love that, man. I think family is really important. I'm married. I have a family too. And for me, I'm just grateful that I have such a support system. And it sounds like your wife and your family, they're amazing. They definitely stuck by you. They supported you. And then it feels like they gave you that energy, right? Subconsciously, they gave you that energy. They gave you that extra push, that extra drive to do what it is that you had to do to get out of that hole. I think that there's a lot of folks in this business that are trying to also get ahead, quote unquote, in the game. But I think having that support system at home is really important to have. I think you could do it alone, of course, but if you're lucky enough, like us, because I'm lucky, believe me, I am lucky, like,
Cool,
right?
man. Good.
yeah, we have that extra support. I think they always allow us to take us to the next level. And then also, yeah, real quick on Team Fast, man. I think that surrounding yourself with people who are doing great things is always a good experience, right? To be involved with, because when I joined Team Fast, I remember meeting some folks that were crushing it, man. They were doing numbers that I only dreamed of,
Yeah.
and before I joined Team Fast, I was averaging about 6 deals a year. This as we speak today, November 19th, I'm on track to closing hopefully 25, 30 deals.
Oh
You know
my
what I mean?
goodness! Wow,
So
congrats.
right now I actually have closed 19 deals thus far. I have a few under contract, and it's just like I think I can do it. I got about a month and a half.
Nice.
I got a few people in the pipeline, and that's the goal. But only because, number one, I believe, right? I believe in myself, and I do have that support system, kind of like what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
But also because I'm surrounded by really good people, and really they're like pros at this.
Yes.
Because pros is professionals, right? And there's a lot of people who are in this team that are professionals.
Yeah.
And for someone like me, it's kind of hard to say I'm a professional, because I'm very I'm just a regular guy, right? But to be a professional, all that means is you have to be competent in your job, in your profession. And I feel I'm competent. And there are areas where I'm not as competent. So that means I have to study more, I have to practice more, I have to,
Exactly.
learn. And to me, that's really what it takes to get better and better. And then the results will then just show. So I think that's amazing that you've been
No, and that's
crushing
how
it.
I do it, man. And to be honest, I'm not a smart guy. All I do, man, is just
Both
copy
of us,
and
bro.
paste. Man, I just do copy and paste. I see Kenny, I see Elias, I see you when we're talking over the phone, and you tell me like, "Oh, this is how I do with my clients." I always learning, right? And and
Yeah,
and
you
and
always got to
and, and,
learn.
and just copy and paste what everybody's doing,
Yeah,
and I don't invent anything, man. I don't.
yeah.
Everything that I'm doing is just like just finding people that is doing it and they're successful, and I'm just doing it. You know,
We're
and
just we're just copycats.
yeah, man, I don't have to reinvent anything at all, because if I see people they're successful, I'll just do whatever they doing. And
Yeah,
I didn't have social media, and I'm trying to get into social media because I see a lot of people how they're successful,
yeah,
like Kenny and all the other guys, right?
yeah.
They doing a lot of social media, so I'm like, man, I got to do social media.
I know. That's one thing that I think all of us need to improve in, including myself. To change a little bit direction here. You were born in Mexico, right?
I was born in Mexico,
What
yes,
part of Mexico were you born?
Veracruz.
Veracruz. And then how old were you when you came to the U.S.?
Well, I came here when I was almost 18 years old. I was still 17 years old. I was a little crazy, man. To be honest, I didn't have the need to come to United States, but I always wanted to do something by myself, right? So I decided to come to United States just because I wanted to do something. Um, I came here when I was almost 18 years old. I was still 17. I worked for this company, a screen printing and embroidery company, for about 2, 3 years. Then I decided to start my own business. Since then, I
Wow.
just been working by myself, man. I had no boss telling me, you gotta come at 8 o'clock or whatever. I've been working. I'm as a self-employee. Then when I got into this course for real estate, I learned how to manage the business, right? Because sometimes we're employees, but we get our own business, but now we're self-employee, right? You're still an employee. You're still working like so many hours, and you gotta do everything by yourself. Then when I got into this course of real estate, I was learning how to manage the business, how to be more an entrepreneur, how to be a manager, you can delegate uh, thing in your business to another people, right? So then I decided to hire a manager on my other business, and I was focusing more on real estate. Then 2 years ago, I decided to sell the business because it was taking a lot of my time. But yeah, I learned a lot with this seminar, man. uh,
So, so when you came to the country, how good was your English? Because your English is great. I mean, it's
No, man. I mean, I had no. I wasn't speaking English at all, like zero.
wow.
Over there in Mexico in school they teach English, but it's nothing, man. It's
Yeah,
like
count to 10 and that's
you
it.
learn how to say window, door, right, stuff like that. but I came to this country speaking not speaking the language, and uh, I had I was lucky because when I was working for this company on the screen printing company, there was a guy that he was only speaking English, right? So I have to communicate with him. So that's how it pushed me to start speaking and learning and talking with this guy 8 hours a day. I was like, that really helps me to get into the English and learning because I never went to school. I tried to go to school, but the first 3 years because I got married after 2 years when I got to United States. Then I was making like probably 9 hours a day, an hour, $9 an hour, something like that back then. So I have to work in two different jobs. Like I will be working from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I will start 5:30 p.m. on the other job till 12 a.m. something like that. As a dishwasher in a restaurant. Man, dishwasher. By the way, all those dishwashers.
I've been a dishwasher.
Man, it was hard, man. I couldn't. I think I worked there for about 7 months. That's it, man. I couldn't do it. It was too much.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. Be a dishwasher is hard. So so I worked for about 3 years. Then I started my own business. But no, I was not speaking the language, man, at all. It was just learning on the street. Speaking with people.
Wow, that's so badass. There's a lot of in the Latino community, right? I feel a lot of us, the reason why we don't progress, or inmigrantes. I wasn't born here either. I came from El Salvador.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell a lot of my Latino clients, I go, don't be afraid, because a lot of us get timid, right? And I'm part of that group too. I'm very timid, believe it or not. And we are a little bit timid to take these risks, right?
Right.
To go after these opportunities. And the fact that, you came to this country, you didn't know English, you weren't afraid to try. A lot of people been here for years and they're afraid to try English because they're going to
Yes.
sound, whatever. But to me, it's silly because you have an opportunity to open more doors to
Yeah.
be able to take care of yourself, be able to take care of your family, which ultimately that's the most important thing, right? And if you want good stuff, cool cars and houses, yeah, great. But the goal is to just take care of your family. So the
Exactly.
fact that you did that and it could have been maybe because you're young, right? And you don't know any better. You're like, this is what I have to do. But the fact that you did that, you came here, you learned it quickly, you understood that there are opportunities and you believed in this dream, right? That everybody I think comes here for. That's amazing, bro. And then obviously now you're crushing
Yeah.
it.
Well, to be honest, I was afraid of it, but the key is to
But you
do it.
went for it,
Even if you're afraid of doing it, because
Yeah.
we're humans.
Yeah,
So
of course.
you're always gonna be afraid of
Yeah.
doing it. Even right now with this meet, I'm still afraid, man. Like I don't know if I told you, like let's do it in Spanish, right? Because I'm still
Oh,
afraid of
we
speaking
could
English.
switch it up, man. Habla
I'm
español, ya
still afraid
sabes.
of speaking English, but we're still doing it, So when I started my first business, I was 20 years old. I was afraid of doing it, but I did it. Even when I started, I hired a guy to be more on the phone, speaking with clients, because I was so afraid. I was like, man, I can't. My accent, and they're not gonna, order through my company because they see I can't speak English, right?
Yeah.
So I hired a guy for 6 months, and to be honest, man, I was like, man, this guy, he's not doing it, And I decided to, what?
Yo, let me show
I'm
him
gonna
how
do
to
it
do it.
myself, right? Then I started speaking with clients and and,
Yeah.
and talking with my clients, and man, trust me, people won't see it. People will see the results, right? If
Yeah.
you're good at it, they will do business with you. It doesn't matter if you have accent or it doesn't matter as long as you bring results to people. Those people will want to do business with you. And that's the key, man. It's just doing it.
Yeah. And it's about intention, right? You're letting people know what your intention is. I tell people when I meet them at the buyer's consultation, I go, I tell them, my intention is to help you. Like to figure out what your problems are, whether you want to, buy a house, you want to upgrade, you want to sell. Like my intention is to help you resolve your problem. problems.
Exactly.
Like, I was talking to somebody, and I talk about how I come when I talk to my clients. I treat them like their family. That's why I start off, right? They're family. They're my cousins. Like, if I sent you my mom to work with you, I have a feeling you'll be like, you know what? That's Joaquin's mom. I'm gonna take good care of her, right? So I
Exactly.
look at everybody, all the clients I work with like that. You know, they're somebody's mom, somebody's grandma. So that allows me to be a little bit more patient, especially with, like, older people and stuff like that, or maybe people who aren't that tech savvy. I have gone to places and meet with them to do, like, wet signatures, which some people might not know what that is. So I start there. I start just being their family. Then from there, if I feel like maybe the connection is not 100%, then they're great. Now they're my friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll treat them with respect. I'll be kind to them. That kind of stuff. Sometimes people are difficult to work with, man. I get it. So at that point, I just become a problem solver. You know what I mean? They don't see me. They don't trust me like that, right? They don't want that. They're not that into that. You know, kumbaya. But they're okay with me being their problem solver, because you and I might not like each other. But if I'm trying to solve your problem, you might have a little bit of like rapport with me, and enough for us to get to the final destination, which is me helping you with your real estate transaction.
Exactly.
So when I
Exactly.
start, that's what I do. I go family, friends, and then problem solver. And if I can't, if we can't continue by me truly trying to be your problem solver, that's because I can't solve your problem. There's other problems that you got, that you got.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
leave it. At that point, I can't do anything. But and I think maybe that's why you were so successful, because people saw your professionalism, they saw your intent, and then obviously you were able to deliver, like you said, be able to provide results.
Exactly, exactly. Man, trust me, I was so afraid the first, because when I started the business, right, I didn't have money to start the business. All I had, it was like about $5,000. Then I have to pay for, first month of the rent for the warehouse. I have to pay a lot of stuff, right? So usually when you start a business, you want to have like 6 months of, reserve, to start the business, because usually new businesses, there won't you won't see profit on the first month. So when I started my business, man, I had no money at all. So I was like, if I do this business and I don't get customers the first month, I'm gonna be out of business on first month,
Yeah.
because I don't have money to pay the rent for the next month. Man, thank God I got so much business. I have enough to pay rent, to pay my own rent, to pay, everything. Like after that, man, it was just, you know, I think the second year we were close to the 1 million on sales,
Wow.
on that business. So I was so blessed and so grateful to God, with everything. Having no money, then being successful in that business, it was a blessing, man. It was a big blessing.
That's amazing, man. Where do you think that where do you think you got that entrepreneur spirit?
I think it was from my dad. He always had business in Mexico, so he will always tell me like, "Look, son, you always want to have a business that while you sleeping, you still making money, right?"
Mm,
Because over there we teníamos vacas, it
yeah.
was more like um ¿cómo se dice vacas?
Cows.
Cows, yes, cows. And he always like, man, I'm sleeping here and my cows are working for me, right? So because he always teach me that about business, and I think I got it through my dad. He was a big example of being an entrepreneur, and sometimes it comes in your blood. It's just you want to do it, and that's what I tell everybody, because I that's what I told my daughters too. Maybe they're not entrepreneurs, but I always try to teach them more about business, because even you not an entrepreneur, like you don't have it, but you can learn. You can still learn. I have two friends. They started their own business, and I was telling them like, you gotta do your own business. You gotta do it, right? And they were so afraid because they didn't have that entrepreneurship mindset, but they did it, man, and they're successful now. They
Nice.
they doing it, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and the community and everybody, if you don't have that entrepreneur mindset, you can still get it. You can still learn it. You can still be successful through business and even real estate. Real estate. That's what I'm teaching all my clients. Like, it's not only buying your house, your residential house, your primary residence. It's creating wealth through real estate. After you get your house, you can start investing on real estate. It's not only getting one house, it's investing through real estate so you can create wealth.
Talk about that. Like, I just bought my house, right? Let's just say I just bought my house. Like, what would you recommend for
So this is
those
what
who
this
are
is what
just
I'm doing.
learning?
I'll tell you what I'm actually doing
Yeah,
right
tell
now,
me. I want
right?
to know the secrets, man.
So
Tell me. I want to be like you,
so
bro.
I'm getting my a fourplex this year coming up. I'm just waiting for my taxes.
Congratulations, man.
So I'm getting my fourplex because my goal is to get at least one every year, because I want to be financial free in 10 years.
Okay,
I'm 35 years old right now. In 10 years I want to be financial free.
love
um
it.
I want to decide if I want to work or not, if I want to take vacation or not, right now I have to work every single week because I still need money, right? So, but I'm creating this. My goal is in 10 years be financial free. So my goal is every year get one property that will provide me at least $2,000 a month on passive income. What does
Love it.
that mean? Like, okay, I'm getting a fourplex that I have to get it. That fourplex have to give me at least $2,000 back in passive income. So that means if my payment is 2,500, I have to get at least 4,500 from that fourplex in order to have $2,000 for me, right, as a passive income, and pay my mortgage. So that mortgage, my tenants will pay for that mortgage, and I will be getting $2,000 every month. And that's only one income source. Also, we have equity, right? In 10 years, if I buy a property this year, in 10 years, I will have equity on that property. So that's how I want to start building my wealth through real estate, getting at least one property every year that will provide me $2,000. So in 10 years, I'm gonna have 10 properties times 2,000. That's gonna be $20,000 a month
And passive income.
in passive income. Yes.
And most likely you'll probably take some of that also and probably even invest more, right? Or maybe
Yeah.
even do a cash out refinance on some of these
And you
properties.
double it.
I
Exactly.
mean, you could do. That's the thing about real estate. There's so many things you can do. One of my goals is to start buying properties out of the country as well.
Got it.
And EXP is growing, right? We're worldwide, so why not? Start making some connections outside. And I think that's like the next frontier. I think people will start doing that now in this new age where everybody can probably work from home and then be able to own in different places. That's amazing, man.
Exactly.
Congratulations on that plan. I think it's amazing. I definitely know you're going to execute it as well.
Yeah, that's the goal, man.
That's the goal. So we got flipping. Are we still doing flipping, or is that
Yeah,
kind
we're
of
still doing flipping.
okay?
Flipping is still good business right now. The market usually changes, and you don't know if flipping will be the right strategy. That's why I'm always learning different strategies on
Yeah,
real estate.
diversify that knowledge, right?
Yes,
Yeah, in
real
real
estate
estate.
always is gonna be a business. If it's not flipping, it could be a different strategy. But real estate always is gonna be a business because people always need a place to live, right?
Yep.
It's like food. Food always is gonna be a business because people always eating, right?
Yeah,
Clothes, real estate. So that's why we're gonna focus on businesses that is a need. It's something that people need. So it
exactly.
always is gonna be a business. Yeah.
So we got fix and flip. We have traditional real estate, right? Where you help,
Yeah,
clients and stuff.
yeah,
And
clients as an agent. We have flipping, and I'm looking for my passive income,
there you
creating
go.
yeah, buying properties and hold properties. Yes.
What would you tell someone that is not 100% bought in on the idea that real estate is the best way to invest your money? Like, what would you tell someone?
Well, I have so many stories, man. Even I'm new in real estate as an agent.
Yeah.
I have probably like four clients already that they bought a house. One of them bought it like 5 years ago. The other one bought it 10 years ago. The one who bought it 10 years ago, they bought the house for $200,000 in Oakland. That client sold the house for close to $1 million, 995. So they netted about it was, I think they still had like $50,000 left on their loan. but they had like close to $1 million in that property.
Wow.
So if you put money in the bank, right? If you saving money, working from 8 hours a day, and you put in money every month, you won't be able to save close to $1 million in 10 years, man. That there is no way, you know. So real estate definitely helps you to create that wealth for you, not only for you, for your generations to comes,
A
right?
100%.
Daughters, all the generations that are coming after you, you can create that wealth. You can be that, you know, make that difference. Because we always, they will teach us to, you gotta go find a good job, good pay, they will tell you when you can take vacations. They can tell you, if you want to have a day off. I mean, I think that's not the truth, man. I mean, that's what everybody's telling us to do, but I think there's a lot of different ways to survive and create wealth for your generations. And I think real estate is one of them.
Yeah. I tell my wife, I go, we have a house, right? And I go, and we have a few other things too, you know? And I tell my wife, I don't even think I'm gonna enjoy all this. This is gonna be for like my kids and my grandkids. Like they're gonna really enjoy everything I've done. I'm just a passerby, you know. I'm just enjoying my TV every now and then or whatever. But it's that's just how I see it. Like I'm not. This is not for me. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying some of it, but this is for my, like you said, that the next generations. And but
Yes,
we also have to remember too about our past generations, right? You know how your dad raised you as well, right? Your dad, you know, he gave you a great example to be an entrepreneur. So you taking that information, it's almost like handing you a baton, like in the Olympics. Remember the Olympics when they run around and they give you the baton, then you take it and then you start running too. And that's all we're doing. We're like that runner who's ready to give that baton to our next generation,
exactly,
and we're
exactly.
doing them a service. They probably don't know it because they're little kids, and you know they don't know, right? But I
Yes,
think as they grow up, they're gonna realize, and hopefully that's the goal, right, for every parent, for our kids to just do a little bit better than us, and then also be able to give back and that kind of stuff, you know. But
yeah,
yeah,
no, definitely, man, definitely. We want to make that difference, in our families, and create. It's just because a lot of people they're saying like money is wrong. You not want to think about money, but if you think about money, man, money is necessary for people to money is not gonna give you the happiness, but definitely it's a tool to have that happy life, right? Because imagine the gasoline, right? Gasoline, you can use it to burn a house, but you can use it to put it in your car and go on vacation, right? I mean, money is tricky, right? Definitely, money is not the happiness, but it's a tool that you can use to be happy,
yeah,
right? Uh, what happened if someone gets sick in your family and you don't have money to pay the doctor? You
yeah,
know, what happened if your daughter always thinking about Disneyland and you don't have the money to even take them to Disneyland?
yeah,
So it's a tool, man. That's how I believe it. I don't focus about money, but I focus about the happiness that I want to provide for my family and for people that I know, my friends, someone in my church and my community.
yeah.
You know, there's a lot of need, man, and a lot of people they don't have, that they haven't thought about, what they can do to create wealth, right? So we always trying to help people in our community and our church and our family so they can have that mindset.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think money is a superpower, right? If either you're gonna be Batman and try to save your city, or you're gonna be the Joker and you're gonna wild out.
Exactly.
So it's just a superpower. It's gonna really reveal who you are and what you're about. Talk to me a little bit about. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I know you're really big in church, and I think that me personally, I feel like I'm more spiritual. I know people might think that's weird or whatever, but I just haven't locked myself into a church. I've always been that way. I think one of the reasons is because I was in the military and I met so many good people from different religions that I go,
Hmm.
if I pick this, they're wrong. If I pick that, they're wrong. I don't want that. I think they're all beautiful. They all have value if you really practice what they say, right? Love and all that stuff. But I know that for you, church is important. So you want to talk a little bit about that and how that's helped you in your career? Because, a lot of business people, I know a lot of business people who are really big into church, and I just admire it. I think it's great. I think it's positive, and
Yes.
it's a beautiful thing, to talk about.
Yeah, well, I was born, and my dad is we're Seventh Day Adventists, or church called Seventh Day Adventist.
Mm.
I was born as a Seventh Day Adventist, but I think after when I got here in the United States, that's when I really decided to be real on church, right? Because when you're a little kid, I mean, you going because your parents are going, you go in church because they telling you to go to church, but you don't really believe it.
Right.
But when I got here, I was just by myself. I couldn't go to drink and smoke and do all that stuff, right? Um, a lot of people ask me, you don't drink? You haven't even drink one time? I was like, no, I never
Still,
drink in
to
my
this to
life.
this to this day, you haven't had a
I
beer.
haven't touched. Yeah, I haven't
Oh,
tried
well,
it.
if you want to, let me know. I got a bar.
No, it's not something that I get attractive.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay.
And I never drink in my life. I never got drunk, of course. I don't know what's the feeling of it. Sometimes I'm like, what does that feel? But I mean, I don't get attractive to it.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't want to try it. So, but I do. I'm very, very. My family and I, we in church all the time. Like even when I was in the Bay Area, I was like full time in church, man, helping at church because I have my business. I don't have to be in my business, so I was like at church helping. I like a lot of the cameras and sound system and everything. So I was always helping, doing installation, helping to do improvement in church and all that stuff. So we were always at church, man. My family loved it. My daughters, they were playing in orchestra at church, choirs and all that stuff. So they're always enjoying church. So we like the environment, we like the community, and I think God always, when it's in your heart, you a better person. If you're a better person, it's because God really lives in your heart. Even
yeah,
you, if you don't go to church, but
yeah.
you're a good person, it's because it's coming from God, right? So I'm very, very, I'm 100% at church, man, all the time. Like that's what I believe. That's how I got raised, and I really believe it. It's conviction. That's
Yeah,
why
I
I'm.
was gonna say that. Yeah, that's conviction, man, and it's cool that you stand on that. It's one of, like you said, it's a choice, and you
Mhm.
choose not to, and it's something that should be respected,
Yeah, and I
100%.
believe it
And
is. It's not. You don't have to be a church because you're perfect. You're
yeah,
not a perfect human because we're humans. We make mistakes, right?
hmm,
But I'm at church because I'm not perfect, right?
hmm,
I don't go there because I'm perfect. I'm going because I'm not perfect. I really need it,
yeah,
and that's why I always decide to even if I make a mistake, I don't get away from church, man. I even try to go more there,
yeah.
because I really believe that because I'm not perfect, that's why I'm at church.
Yeah, and then that faith speaks, right. I mean, in your production too, where you have these bad moments, and I'm sure you've reached out and maybe said a prayer or two, and then they were probably answered, right.
Yes,
And I think that's the power of testimonials, right. I think they call them that, where you like,
exactly.
yo, I had an event where I reached out, and this is true. And I think that's amazing, man. I have a lot of friends, again, from different nationalities, different cultures, and they all believe in different things. But I think ultimately it's all love and that kind of stuff. And I think it's great because, like you said, it just brings out the good human in them, even though they're not 100% perfect.
Exactly.
Um, let's talk español si quieres, man, un poquito
Vamos a
para hablar
hablarles.
con el público
Mejor para mí.
So we're gonna switch it up in Spanish. You could try to learn Spanish if you want some, because especially, right, if you're an agent, there's a few words you might want to learn, like casa, right, or
Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot
dinero.
of on the Slack, right? Where we add all the agents. I always say, "Hey, there's a is there any Spanish speaking agent that can come at 5 o'clock?" And I'm like,
Right, right.
I'm a little far, but I mean, I can.
Okay, so habla un poquito de lo que piensas, por qué bueno, I guess very bien como general, pero ¿por qué piensas, ya te pregunté esto en inglés, pero ¿por qué piensas que bienes raíces es una una arma, I guess, a tool, o una idea que es tan importante para que nosotros latinos podemos, pues sí, invertir o comprar bienes raíces. ¿Por qué crees que es tan importante para que la comunidad latina pueda hacer eso?
Mira, la comunidad latina tenemos algo bien que es nato en nuestra sangre, right? Nosotros trabajamos duro, pero lo que he notado es de que no tenemos la educación para progresar en una forma diferente. Porque nosotros trabajamos hasta 2 trabajos. Conozco gente que trabaja hasta 3 trabajos. So we're not lazy. No somos flojos, somos
Ya.
trabajadores, ¿vea? Pero he sentido que necesitamos esa educación, un poquito de educación, y ¡pum! Saltamos. Yo conozco varios latinos que han invertido tiempo en su educación y les ha ido muy bien, ¿verdad? No tienen que estar trabajando hora por hora, trabajan en sus negocios, trabajan, algunos ya no trabajan porque tienen la forma de sostener a sus familias sin trabajar. Y me refiero a no trabajar de que no tienes que estar 8 horas trabajando para un jefe, ¿verdad? Porque cuando alguien empieza su negocio, trabaja, pero trabaja por su cuenta, ¿no? Ahora, real estate, ¿por qué es tan importante? Los bienes raíces ha sido una de los negocios más ah, que más le ha dado a las personas, ¿verdad? Para poder crear algo para poder sobrevivir. Ahora, muchos no creen en los bienes raíces porque piensan que las casas van a bajar, piensan que va a cambiar el mercado y están esperando, ¿verdad? Pero bienes raíces ha sido comprobado de que tengo un amigo de la iglesia, de hecho, ¿verdad? De mi iglesia, que en el 2007 dejó ir su casa porque me estaba comentando él, mira, yo dejé perder mi casa porque vi que todas las casas habían bajado. Le dije, ok, pero ¿por qué la dejó? Dijo, porque vi que todos estaban dejando sus casas, ¿vea? Y eso pasó mucho en la comunidad latina. Muchos podían pagar sus casas, pero solo las dejaron ir, porque nuestra mente nos han puesto que, ok, ¿cómo vas a tener algo que pagas $500,000 y vale $300,000, verdad? Pero ahí es donde viene la educación que te estoy hablando. No tenemos la educación de cómo funciona el real estate. Y muchos dejaron sus propiedades. Dijeron, no, las dejo, que se vaya. So le dije a este amigo, le dije, a ver, dame la dirección de tu propiedad. Era en Richmond, ¿vea? Richmond, California. Dame la dirección de tu propiedad. ¿Cuánto la habías comprado? La había comprado en $350,000 y la casa valía 200,000 cuando la dejó. Le dije, ok, eso fue hace creo que 11 o 12 años. La había comprado en $350,000, la dejó ir cuando valía $200,000 cuando bajaron las casas. Le dije, dame la dirección. ¿Sabes cuánto valía la casa ahorita?
900,000.
No, bueno, no tanto, valía cerca de los $700,000.
Wow, pero es una gran diferencia que
Gran diferencia. Le
estuviera
dije, ¿qué
ganando.
hiciste? ¿Qué hiciste después de dejar tu casa? Me dijo, me fui a rentar. Le dije, ¿qué has agarrado después de esa renta? Nada. Ok, si tú te hubieras quedado en la casa, debías $350,000, ahorita debieras como $180,000 en tu loan, porque ya casi son 15 años, es la mitad del loan, ¿verdad? Ya casi hubiera pagado la mitad de su mortgage. Ahorita ponle que debiera $200,000. Su casa ya vale $700,000. Quiere decir que tiene $500,000 de equity en la propiedad. Le dije, ¿por qué la dejaste ir? Dije, es que yo veía que todos la dejaban ir y yo pues la dejé ir también. Entonces ahí es donde me baso, que la educación debe ser muy importante y ahí es donde estamos educando a la gente, nosotros que somos agentes de bienes raíces y tenemos esta educación de cómo funciona el real estate, es donde nos dedicamos a educar a la gente. Pero la gente también tiene que tener esa mentalidad abierta de querer aprender, ¿verdad? Porque nosotros tenemos la información y la damos, pero ya depende de quién la reciba y quién quiere aprender a cómo invertir en bienes raíces. Esta persona me dijo, oye, si yo hubiera sabido esto que me estás diciendo en esos años, yo no la hubiera dejado ir. Le dije, ahorita usted hubiera vendido esa propiedad y mínimo se lleva casi $500,000 así, que usted no los ahorró. Ahorita está pagando $3,500 en San Leandro, ¿verdad? Y ha querido comprar y ya no puede comprar porque está carísimo, está caro. Entonces, si él hubiera mantenido esa misma propiedad la hubiera usado para comprar otra, porque el banco cuando ve que tú ya tienes una propiedad, tú puedes agarrar ese equity y transferirlo a otra propiedad y comprar otra propiedad porque ellos ven que tienes el equity ahí. Puedes usarlo para un down payment de un 20% para otra propiedad y no pagar el PMI, ¿verdad? Que es una aseguranza que tú pagas cuando no puedes poner más del 20%. Entonces, cuando uno le da la educación a nuestra comunidad latina, es bueno que estés abierto a querer aprender esa educación. Lo hacemos para ayudar a nuestra comunidad. Yo sé que hay potencial en nuestra comunidad latina, pero también necesitamos esa mentalidad más abierta de querer aprender y de querer que te guíen en el proceso, porque es para lo que estamos aquí nosotros, para guiar a las personas. Es nuestro negocio, lógico, ganamos dinero cada vez que hacemos una transacción, pero nosotros no nos enfocamos realmente en eso, nos enfocamos en ayudar a las personas. ¿Por qué? Porque entre más ayudamos, más negocio tenemos, ¿verdad? Eh, no es porque hay muchos agentes que realmente sí se enfocan en su comisión, ¿verdad? Pero cuando nosotros nos enfocamos en ayudar a la gente, en explicarles, en tomar el tiempo, y por eso es que a veces yo soy un poco malo en llamar a las personas, porque yo me gasto mínimo media hora con cada persona, ¿vean? Aunque no, a veces no califica. Ese es no sé si es malo o es bueno, ya no sé ni qué es, pero
Es
cuando
bueno, te digo por qué después.
pero yo a veces hablo con las personas y me dicen, no, es que no tengo buen crédito, no tengo buenos ingresos. Entonces yo les digo, miren, a veces las personas tienen el ingreso y no tienen el crédito. Entonces les explico qué es lo que hay que hacer para mejorar su crédito y tener buen crédito. Y gastamos el tiempo e invertimos el tiempo en explicarles a las personas. Pero creo que eso es lo importante, que nuestra comunidad ya tenemos las ganas de trabajar y tenemos las ganas de progresar. Por eso es que muchos venimos a este país. Pero necesitamos esa educación para que de volada, en una chispa, la gente pueda empezar a progresar. ¿Me entiendes? En bienes raíces, en negocios, como te dije, mis dos amigos empezaron su negocio. Ahorita uno ya ahorró $100,000, ¿verdad? En un negocio. La otra persona ya anda buscando en tal vez comprar su casa, invertir más en su negocio, comprar un carro, porque ya el carro ya se le echó a perder, mantuvo su carrito viejito, ¿verdad? De hecho, vendió su carro para invertir en el negocio. Ahora ya puede tal vez comprar un carro al contado o tal vez lo está pensando comprar del dealer, pero ya tiene el dinero para hacerlo. Entonces, esa es la educación que nosotros queremos darle a nuestra comunidad para que pueda haber esa chispa de progresar más.
Sí, y es muy importante hablar de esos temas y yo estoy de acuerdo que es importante que la gente se abra, aunque sea un poquito, para agarrar esa información. Yo también pienso de que hay un poco de desconfianza, ¿no? Y por eso es bueno platicar así, para que ellos puedan conocer a agentes como tú, ¿no? Y como yo, de que somos pues muchachos que sí queremos ayudar a la comunidad latina, que tenemos la información, que tenemos el record, digamos, de que hemos hecho transacciones y para el bien y para ayudar a otras personas. Por eso pienso que estas pláticas son importantes, porque yo, por ejemplo, a veces le pregunto a mis clientes, más o menos, ¿cuánto tiene para un pago inicio? Pues por ahí, más o menos, un poquito.
No tienen la confianza de
No me
decirte.
quieren decir. Y le digo, mira, yo no toco tu dinero, ¿verdad? Ese dinero va a un third party, le llamamos escrow, yo no hago nada de eso. Solo quiero yo saber para más o menos tener idea qué podemos hacer. Yo le digo, es como si yo fuera tu abogado y vamos a la corte. Yo sé que no te robaste el dulce, pero dime la verdad, yo siempre te voy a proteger.
Correcto.
Y porque sabiendo la verdad, podemos hacer una nueva estrategia dependiendo
Exacto.
cómo está. Como más o menos como cuánto tiene. Pues un poquito. Entonces te digo que también yo pienso que son dos cosas. Eso, la información que no se dejan dar, y tal vez un poco de la desconfianza, que es se entiende.
Es
Es
común
común
en
y es
nuestra.
normal, pero pienso que ojalá con estos tipos de pláticas la gente puede estar más disponible a tomar esta información. Y otro, hablando con las personas así, aunque sea una media hora y pienses que no no va a salir nada de eso. Yo pienso que está bien hablar con gente porque vas a hacer unas cuantas cosas. Uno, le vas a decir que sabes de lo que estás hablando. Van a comenzar a tener esa confianza contigo, aunque no estén listos. Y yo a veces digo que hay gente que tal vez no está lista para comprar en este momento, pero ya sabemos que ya tiene esa semilla
Ujú.
adentro de la cabeza que tal vez en 3, 5, 6 meses o hasta en un año van a querer y te van a llamar. Eso es uno. Dos, tal vez ellos no están listos, pero tal vez tienen un primo, un cuñado, una amistad que ya están listos y te pueden decir, ¿sabes qué? Yo hablé con Josué, me dio tanta información, desafortunadamente yo no puedo comprar, pero yo pienso que él sí te puede ayudar.
Correcto.
So, por eso yo pienso que hablando con personas así, y a veces yo también, mira, yo soy bien platicón, hasta digo, hago un podcast, porque también a mí me gusta hablar de bienes raíces, porque yo he visto la potencial que te puede dar, no solamente a ti, a uno que es dueño de casa, pero también a la familia. So, yo pienso que
Correcto.
es excelente lo que estás haciendo.
No, y hablando un poquito de lo que estabas diciendo, ¿verdad? Que a veces las personas no tienen confianza en ti, en decirte, y tú puedes ayudar cuando realmente conoces cómo está la situación. Si no conoces cómo está la situación, no puedes ayudar. Por ejemplo, alguien quiere comprar una casa, ¿verdad? Y yo he visto muchos agentes que el catchy es, oh, compra la casa con 0% de down payment y todo eso, ¿verdad? Que es real, sí pasa, pero yo le digo muchos clientes me llaman y me dicen, hey, quiero agarrar esa casa al 0% down payment. ¿Hay programa? Le digo, mira, sí hay programa, pero me gustaría saber tu situación, cuánto dinero tienes. ¿Por qué pasa esto? Porque cuando tú agarras un programa, usualmente el interés va a ser un poquito más alto que si tuvieras el down payment. Ahora, ponte a pensar, medio por ciento de interés más alto en una casa de $500,000, ¿verdad? A 30 años que vas a agarrar tu loan, ¿qué es más barato? ¿Poner ese dinero extra que tenías o agarrarte ese dinero que se te va a devaluar ahorita con la inflación, ¿verdad? Que te va a devaluar porque a tu agente no le dijiste que tenías el dinero, ahora sí te consiguió el programa que puedes pagar muy poquito de down payment, pero ahora estás pagando tal vez 1% más de interés por 30 años. Imagínate, en una casa de 500 a 1%, ¿cuánto estamos hablando? No soy malo para las matemáticas, pero supongamos que la casa te costó $500,000, ¿verdad?
Ujú.
Um, Estamos hablando que estás pagando $5,000 al año más en ese 1%. Por 30 años son $150,000 por 30 años. Ahora, ¿qué te hubiera gustado más? ¿Pagar los 20,000 que tenías en la cuenta para el down payment y no agarrar el programa, ¿verdad? Y ya no ibas a pagar esos $150,000 de más en los 30 años. Entonces, a veces nosotros como agentes le podemos dar un plan a nuestros clientes si sabemos en qué situación está. Pero si el cliente no quiere darnos la información, no podemos, porque ¿cómo sabemos? No sabemos, ¿verdad? Entonces, un ejemplo, ¿verdad? Que yo les pongo a mis clientes, mira, si puedes agarrar el programa, pero si no tienes que agarrarlo, te conviene más por esto. Y le hago los números y el cliente dice, oh, sí me conviene más, mejor poner el dinero, ¿verdad? Que agarrar el programa. Entonces, muchos agentes por agarrar al cliente le ofrecen los programas, pero no les hacen los números reales de que al final de cuentas van a pagar más dinero. Entonces, siempre es bueno hacer lo mejor para el cliente, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Aunque sea que pongan un poquito más de dinero, pero les va a convenir más en términos largos.
Y eso es muy importante de hablar de esos términos largos porque a veces nosotros, ¿verdad? Como digamos, ese ejemplo, ese 20% o lo que tengan que poner como un pago inicio, puede ser mucho para ellos,
Puede ser mucho.
Y dicen, híjole, voy a soltar todo este
Todo
dinero, no sabiendo que se van a ahorrar
sí, se van a ahorrar.
al plazo largo porque no, el interés no va a estar tan grande. Y
Correcto.
dándole ese como vista de pájaro, I don't know cómo se dice, bird's eye view.
Sí.
Pero yo siempre, yo a mis clientes siempre los llevo yo arriba, hacia arriba, para que ellos miren cómo está la cosa de short term, de lo que es ahorita en el momento y también largo plazo. Y que
Ya.
ellos decidan, ¿verdad? Ellos decidan, porque
Sí.
al final del cabo, ellos son los jefes.
Al término corto va a parecer que van a sacar $20,000 o lo que sea de su cuenta, pero en términos largos va a ser más beneficioso.
Ujú.
Ahora, si alguien no tiene realmente el dinero, entonces le decimos, oh, entonces sí hay programa, aquí está el programa, ¿verdad? Porque es mejor comprar a no comprar, ¿verdad? Si no tienes el dinero y hay programas, hay que usarlos. Ahora, si tienes el dinero y quieres usar el programa, puedes usarlo, pero te vamos a dar la información de lo que, qué es lo que más te conviene. Ya al final de cuentas, tú dices, ellos son los jefes, cada quien decide qué es lo que se va a hacer, ¿verdad? Pero nuestro compromiso como agentes es darle la información real y ya lo que a nuestro conocimiento, ya las personas deciden realmente qué es lo que van a hacer al final.
Exactamente. Es muy importante tener estas pláticas porque yo pienso que, como te digo, hay gente que tal vez quiere y tal vez no sabe o no hay confianza. Pues mira, muchas gracias por tu tiempo. No sé, ahorita obviamente estás muy ocupado con todo lo que estás haciendo en tu real estate, tu negocio de fix and flip y tus inversiones. Y créeme que yo agradezco tu tiempo, agradezco tu amistad. Eres una inspiración para mí porque te digo,
Gracias.
es muy difícil, no solamente ese trabajo, pero también teniendo una familia y también teniendo, pues sí, has pasado por muchas cosas en tu vida que han sido muy fuertes y has progresado, ¿verdad? Con mucha fe, que es bien bonito de ver eso, que es alguien, eres una buena persona con fe, una buena persona de familia y te admiro mucho. Estoy muy contento que estás en Team Fast.
Thank you.
Y bueno, te agradezco mucho por tu tiempo. No sé si hay algo que les quieras dejar a los que están escuchando, los que se están viendo, cómo ellos se pueden contactar o un mensaje.
Sí, claro, mira, no, agradecerte primero a ti por la invitación y por esto, ¿verdad? Nos ayuda bastante conversar y son temas que nos gustan a nosotros. Y algo que sí me gustaría decirle a la comunidad latina, ¿verdad? Nosotros somos inmigrantes, tú también me dijiste que viniste
Sí,
ya chico, yo ya vine un poco más grande. A veces las barreras del idioma, las barreras de una nueva cultura nos conlleva a no hacer mucho, pero algo que comenté es de que nosotros, la comunidad latina, tenemos la energía, tenemos las ganas de querer progresar. No tengan miedo de que no hablan el idioma, no tengan miedo de que es otra cultura. La idea es, algo bonito de Estados Unidos es de que el sistema, el que quiere progresar, puede progresar, porque el sistema te ayuda a progresar. Lo que yo le recomiendo es de que se rodeen de personas que quieren ayudar, de personas que saben hacer el negocio y pueden aprender ustedes. Si ustedes aprenden y se educan en el tema de bienes raíces es uno de los negocios mejores en el que pueden ustedes progresar y pueden crear un patrimonio para sus familias. No solo para ustedes en este momento, sino para familias venideras, mis hijos, mis nietos, mis bisnietos, ¿verdad? Esa es la idea de los bienes raíces, crear ese patrimonio para nuestras familias venideras. Y yo les insto a todo el que nos esté viendo que si ustedes quieren progresar, busquen los bienes raíces, compren su casa primero, después le vamos a ayudar a comprar otras propiedades de otras formas que ustedes pueden crear ese patrimonio. Pero den ese primer paso de querer aprender, ese primer paso de hacer el esfuerzo de querer ver si califico. Nunca uno va a saber hasta dónde puedes llegar si no das ese primer paso. A veces las ganas las tenemos ahí, pero necesitamos la acción. Cuando tomas la acción es cuando vas a ver los resultados.
excelente. Sí, y sí se puede.
Sí se puede, claro que sí. Muchas gracias, Joaquín.
Un
Muchas gracias por
placer.
invitarme y estamos a la orden.
¿Cómo te encontramos en IG, Facebook? ¿Cómo te
En
seguimos?
nuestras redes sociales, si buscan Josue G. Realtor, van a encontrar, vamos a estar poniendo videos de inversión, también de bienes raíces, pero nuestro enfoque va a ser más en cómo ayudar a las personas a crear una inversión en bienes raíces, ya después de comprar su primera casa.
Excelente, hermano. Te aprecio mucho.
Gracias, Joaquín.
Estamos en contacto, ¿eh?
Estamos en contacto.
Saludos.
Gracias
Eh.
a Dios.